What did you think of the Black Knight?
I thought it was good. I think our guys got matches in and wrestled well, scored a lot of points, which is kind of what we're looking to do. But more than anything, like I kind of always say, we just like to get out there and compete and see where we're at. So I think overall the tournament went fine.
You had a lot of guys take a no contest in the final match and split titles with their teammates. Was that a personal decision between the wrestlers, or did you guys have influence on that?
We just kind of mentioned it to them just because the way the rules are set up right now, the match doesn't count. It doesn't count if you win, it doesn't count if you lose, and which is just kind of a silly rule that was put into place a few years ago when some coaches were trying to maybe abuse the rules to get to certain numbers. But it has effects as we see now with legitimate matches. So it just didn't make sense to have your teammates wrestle each other if there was no reason. I mean, we had some matches that were kind of wrestle off type situations that needed to take place, but if the match doesn't count, then there's these guys are competitors, every match counts, but so it just didn't make sense to have them wrestle. So we talked to them about it, and so it was more so probably the coaches than the student athletes, but yeah, I think it was the right thing to do.
What did you guys figure out from those two matches that wrestle off?
Just you guys all saw the same things we saw. I mean, we have several weights where we have several very competitive guys, and still early in the season, so we have a lot of wrestling left to do. So just kind of keep everybody moving forward. And there'll be more opportunities for these guys to compete and decide who the person's going to be.
How does that change the way that you view the competition moving forward? Does that change any expectations? Do you have a different, is the coaching staff maybe adjusting goals for the wrestlers that might not have come out on top this time? How does that approach change?
Well, it's a long season, and different things happen, and there's most likely going to be additional wrestle-offs. So I don't think the goals necessarily change yet. So we're still going to give our guys the best opportunity. It's all about getting ready for March and being ready and preparing for March. So that's the same focus for everybody, even if they happen to have lost a wrestle off or won a wrestle off. Right? It's not. It's still kind of a continuous process, and that's the way we view it.
Obviously, we saw Luke wrestle for the first time.
Yeah.
We also saw both Mirasolas wrestle. What did that tell you, seeing things from them wrestling in the singlet for the first time? Does it make you excited for their future here?
Yeah, I think the name of the game is just where are you trending, and continuous process, kind of that permanent beta sort of mentality, and we've seen that with those guys. I mean, if you watch some of their solos over the last 4 or 5 years, they just get better every year, and just the way they compete and work, and they love the sport, so that'll continue. And Luke looked great. He's a competitor. It was fun to see him get out there and just kind of do his thing. And I thought he was, he looked really good. I was just kind of in the corner saying, wow, that's nice. He's fun, and he loves to compete, and he's just kind of that same mentality where he'll just continue to get better as the season goes on.
At 125, 157, 197, is it safe to say that Luke, Tyler, and Josh are the starters at this point in time, or are those competitions, as you've mentioned, are still ongoing?
Yeah, I'd say we're getting closer to that. I mean, there's been some back and forth. Some wrestle-offs, I think, that didn't actually take place that may have been online saying that they had. But yeah, I mean, that's just one more step forward, but still a lot still that needs to play out. We've got matches the next 3 weeks, obviously next 3 Sundays, and I mean, you've seen this in the past. It's just the Nationals aren't until March, or the Big Ten, so nothing's really set until the Big Ten tournament starts.
Got a neutral site deal coming up this weekend. What was behind the decision-making process to face Lehigh?
Well, that's Lehigh's decision. It's they're the host this year, and so they are putting it in. I don't know if it's really a neutral site. I mean, it's in their backyard, and it's their event. So we're just we basically just go wherever they say we're competing, and sounds like it'll be a great atmosphere. We wrestled them there 3 or 4 years ago, it seems like. I don't know how many years ago it was, and it was a great match. Came down to the heavyweight match, like in overtime, if I remember right. And so yeah, we're looking forward to just a great test. Lehigh's always just one of the top programs in the nation, and their coaching staff's obviously really great. So yeah, it should be a fun match in a I think a sold out environment. So we're excited about it.
Brayden didn't make the
No.
trip to West Point. Obviously, if he competes against Lehigh, he has an opportunity against a pretty good kid.
Yeah.
Goes into your sending him back out to face that level of competition after some time off.
Well, yeah, it doesn't really matter to us who or what their opponents are ranked or wherever, this or that. I mean, we just kind of wrestle whoever's in front of you, regardless of the situation. So, and it doesn't have anything really to do with the opponent as to whether he was going to wrestle or not. So, the decision to have him go is more about, is he excited about it? Is he ready? And what does the trainer and the doctor say? But he's been back on the mat last week, so I think he's doing pretty good.
Talking about 133, is there potentially any update you'd be able to give us on Aaron Nagao at this point? How's he doing?
Well, he won't be back anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, he had a major surgery. He had an injury last spring and had surgery right away. But it's an injury that you take as much time and even more than you need just to ensure the long-term health of your just your long-term health. So yeah, so he's not trying to get back anytime soon, but you'll see him wandering around. But yeah.
Looking forward to Lehigh again. You've talked a lot about how you enjoy wrestling these local competitive teams before the conference slate kicks off. Are there any other schools that are always on your bucket list to wrestle with the squad?
It doesn't really matter. I mean, we see most of our opponents, and we're all in the same bracket at the nationals. But yeah, I mean, Pennsylvania is known for wrestling high school, the collegiate level, and so yeah, there's a lot of great wrestlers, a lot of great coaches, a lot of support. Lehigh is just one of those matches that goes back many years. I'm not going to say number because it might sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, which I don't, but it's just a rivalry that's our alumni. When we first got here, it was just one of the more important matches to them, and the tradition and the history, and I mean, they've kicked our butts a few times, so makes it a little bit more fun. But the match is always competitive, and they're just a great program. So we're excited to just kind of see where we're at this weekend.
Sorry, I know we've talked about some of the details of what you want to work on in the non-conference season, but what are the big picture goals you have for your team heading into this phase of the schedule?
We're just looking for progress. It's not, I don't know, I mean, goals are just more individual, right? I mean, our guys compete as individuals. Obviously, we love the team aspect and all that, but your team does well when your individuals do well. So it's more of if there's goals and things we're working on, it's obviously, generally speaking, as a team, you're always trying to improve in your fundamentals and the little things, but each individual has certain areas that they need to improve on. But for us, it's the same thing. I mean, we just want to compete with enthusiasm and with that mentality that we're always kind of looking ahead to the next match and the next match, and competing in that way, not getting too concerned with winning and losing right now, and then when we get to the bigger stuff, that's the energy and the mindset we're going to want to compete within as well. So yeah, we're just trying to compete well, and obviously it's easier to build confidence with success. So you want to set yourself up and your kids up to be successful, but we don't know what's going to happen. So whatever happens, we'll just be positive and just keep working to get better.